Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Story Reckless. I am your DM this evening. My name is Nathan, and I use he, him pronouns. Let me pass it over to our players for their intros.
My name is Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I am still playing Kidam, half-elf grave cleric.
And my name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I'm playing Lovelace, Centaur Ghostbuster.
Yes, got one. You got one in. Well, let us jump right into our little recap here. So, last time... Oh, did you want to ask?
We haven't found any ghosts yet.
No ghosts
Wait,
yet.
what are these things if not ghosts?
Fairies.
Who knows? We'll have to
the
find
distinction is academic. They're definitely haunting.
That's very true.
Very, very haunting, yes. And so, let's do a quick recap here. Centaur Ghostbuster, yes. So, last time, our two protagonists, Lovelace and Kidam, they have been tasked with finding a seemingly lost village named Vermeillon. They have found such village. They were sent there to find, according to a book that they have, this village had access to a rich platinum mine. And they were sent here to confirm this information and see if the mine still exists and if there is any platinum available. Upon their trek through the wilderness and arriving at the town abandoned village of Vermeillon, they found themselves amongst the broken ruins of this mining town. As they wound their way through the streets towards this dilapidated manor, they decided to head towards the graveyard to set some flowers out for an individual that they met back in Marin. Had asked them to leave these flowers for their long dead wife. Upon laying the flowers on the grave, as they said a few words, they heard a blood-curdling scream echo through the town. As they all kind of tensed up and took up positions, they just started to hear strange sounds and see movement throughout the village. And they continued to investigate, being accosted by more and more strange whispers, sounds, movement. Eventually, Lovelace coming into an abandoned building and seeing a small, shadowy figure in the corner. And as they approached, they saw a small child of a centaur scrambling away in fear. And then it dissipated into a shadow-like mist and was gone. Meanwhile, Kidam and your two companions, Manfred and Renwin, were sneaking along the back or the front of the house across the street to keep an eye on Lovelace. Lovelace came out of the house looking pale as a ghost. And upon trying to figure out what to do next, Kidam's detect, what was the spell?
Detect evil and good.
Right, which allows you to detect aberrations, fiends, fey, elementals. Your spell that you had cast, you had picked up some fey creatures while all this was occurring, and you picked up 1, 2, 3 different creatures approaching from all sides in the dark. And that is when Renwin suddenly exclaimed out that he could not see any of you and was frightened there before all of you, seeming to not be able to see you, just panicking in the dark. And he went running off into the village before you could catch him, screaming for help, calling for your names, just as Kidam's spell was starting to fade. So, with that,
We're in a pickle.
A little bit of a pickle. Let us pick up from there. So, Kidam, Lovelace, you can see Manfred kind of shaking and backing up back to back with the two of you as Renwin goes running off into the dark. What do the two of you want to do?
Lovelace is just has her pike out, pacing around the other two of them.
Okay.
I'm Kidam?
Yeah.
What?
I'm
You
gonna
got
cast.
any Bright ideas?
Yes, actually, I'm gonna cast light on one of my bracelets.
Okay.
Very bright.
That's what is the radius of that?
20 foot of bright light, 20 feet of dim light.
Okay.
That'll do. That's a bright idea.
All right.
Also.
You cast this spell on your bracelet, and this kind of bright white light fills the space, casting these harsh shadows from the small tree next to you across the stone walls of the dilapidated buildings. Meanwhile, you can hear the pitter-patter of Renwyn running further into the village, screaming for help. Kadam! Lovelace! Kadam! As he continues running through the streets, I'm just gonna let him do his full movement.
Yeah.
Dash.
Hidam, got a light. Come back.
I don't know if he can hear us.
Hmm.
I guess we should go after him. I would like to
I ain't
start.
gonna run nowhere.
No, I don't think we should run. I'm gonna. Oh dear. I'm gonna start going in the direction that he went, but like keeping a very close eye on my surroundings.
Okay. Are you like sprinting after him to try to keep up?
No,
Okay.
Hell
absolutely not.
Okay. Are
We
you
are
trying to be
methodically.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you will. I guess I'll say you're moving your 30 feet of movement. I mean, Lovelace, you could go up ahead of everyone if you want.
Nah, we stand right next to each other.
Okay. Go ahead. You can. I can move you if you want, or you can move yourselves. Up to you. As he continues running off into the dark. Let's tell you what. Let's.
Here?
Yeah. And you have control of that little gem
do.
thing if you want.
Manfred,
Oh yes.
stay
of
close
course.
to us.
Yes, of course. He follows behind just as you are coming around the corner, and the light, the dark shadows of the building are kind of casting out. You just catch the edge of Renwyn as he starts booking it, in the direction going north.
Oh, he's going straight for the.
And you hear him start. Let's see, he can go to here. You hear him call out, "Kadam! I hear you, Lovelace!
We're over here.
Lovelace, Kadam!" And he just keeps running north.
Thank God.
Can I say like how far away, or do I see at all?
Here I will. So you saw him running. I don't know if you see him to the north, west of you, but he went running down this little gulch, and
Okay.
disappeared down into this little gulch and kind of out of sight. Would you all like to keep following?
Hidam, I'm half a mind to get out of here and come back and look for him in the morning. We ain't catching him.
I'm afraid we're just not gonna see him again.
Yeah. If you want to
Okay.
go after him, though.
I'm gonna call out in Elvish.
ya.
If you need help, just to the general area,
Mm-hmm.
please show yourselves, and we will try and help. If we can't help you, I don't know. I'm just gonna trail off.
You know, I don't think these friends want help. I think they're echoing and like looking into our minds to try to pull us in.
You, both of you, as you shout this out, you both just catch movement from behind you, down that kind of main boulevard that runs north to south. Something skitters across the street
I turn towards it.
towards going east.
I turn away from it. I don't.
Okay.
I just want us to have 360 vision.
Yeah. You can make a perception check, Kadam, as you try to catch this sight of whatever this thing might be.
19.
It's pretty far away. It's about probably 50 feet away or so. The best you can make out is this silhouette of a bipedal creature, kind of elongated arms, and it lopes across the street. It is probably halfling size, so like only about 3 feet in height, and it just quickly kind of lopes across the street and disappears into the shadows.
I don't like being penned in like this. I need to get somewhere more open. We gotta keep moving.
All right.
North?
Toward the brick house?
There's an opening up there.
Yeah. All right, I'll follow you.
Lovelace is gonna lead the way north.
Okay, you start making your way north.
I just want to get out from these buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for y'all to catch up.
Sorry, I'm struggling with. Come on. Here we go.
Can both of you make perception checks as you are moving your way north?
Natural 20.
Jesus.
What
Love to
horrors
see it.
do I see?
What do your elf eyes see?
You don't see anything. You just... let's see. I'll find out. Just hold on.
All right, I'm holding on to Lovelace.
Okay.
Apparently, with your hands over my eyes. I got a 2. A 2 plus
Oh.
5.
Goodness. You just hear directly to the east. You hear a sharp "Ah!" as Renwyn cries out, or you assume it is Renwyn.
Lovelace, we need to go.
Okay, let's just keep walking. I don't trust noises that we hear in the dark, though.
Well, you were so intent on following that scream earlier.
Yeah, well,
So
then
I
I
went over
saw
here in
what
the
was
first
at the end of
place.
it.
And
They're playing with us.
Kadam,
Let's go, but slowly.
Kadam,
Careful.
you do see, just out of just down that little gulch there's this path, and as you start to move beyond that tree, you look over, and down in that path you can see the shadow of Renwyn kind of wrestling with something in the dark.
Damn it. I'll break into a run.
Okay. Let's do a quick initiative roll between you and something. Okay, what'd you get?
14.
Okay. Not bad, but as you come running up, you see Renwyn there. And there's this dark shape that he seems to be running with. And as your light starts to spill out, revealing the details of whatever this small bipedal creature is, you watch it just kind of dissolve and it disappears.
Where are they? They're up here?
Directly to your east. Do you not see them?
Nope.
Right there? You don't see them.
Take a step up.
It's shadow.
I see. It's because the tree is blocking it.
Yeah.
There you
Aha! Now I see them. All right.
But
Well,
yes,
I will
regardless,
rush over and-
you start running over. And you see Renwyn panting there. And as you run up, he kind of and notices you, and you see him kind of, his hands shaking, and he has this large gash across his chest, blood kind of dripping out onto the ground.
I'll kneel down. Are you all right? What happened?
No, I don't know. Where'd you go? I heard you calling out from over here.
We didn't leave.
What?
You ran from us.
You were gone. And something came out of the darkness, and I don't know. And then it disappeared.
May I? And I gesture towards the gash across his chest.
Yes.
I'll cast Cure Wounds,
Okay.
which involves a D8. There we go. That's 8 points of healing.
Very nice. I think that gets him past his... Oh, I never put his maximum. Yeah, that wound seals right up, and he... as it just, the skin stitches together, there's still this massive tattered gash in his front clothing area. You do see that underneath there is like thicker leather armor he has on, but whatever got him managed to cut right through.
Did you see what got you?
Thank you. I don't know. I saw a face.
Yeah?
It's someone. It was someone who's been dead.
Someone you know.
Someone I knew, yes.
Who ain't here. Yeah, Lovelace saw something similar.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
Can you
we
stand?
should.
Can you move?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's head back.
Don't particularly want to rewalk back through that town. Is there any like path up onto the cliffs from this side of town?
So at this point, as the mist is swirling around you, the sun has dipped below the horizon, and the town is dropping into deep darkness. Looking to the north, you can only make out probably 60 feet ahead of you or so, and you see that there is this larger path that heads towards where you imagine the cliffs are. You can see there are some kind of very old but like deep ruts in the dirt, and you're not sure. You only really see 60 feet ahead as this path just kind of winds off into the darkness.
Can we head up here?
Up to where?
Over here.
Oh, sure.
Northeast.
Yeah. You want to climb up the hill there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
I guess going down first. Is there any kind of pathway up this ridge here?
Yeah. Here, I can, at this point, you're all together. I can move you up there as you're carefully working your way up the cliff. As the two of you work your way around and start heading up this path here to the east, you do catch more of movement just out of your periphery as it then dissipates almost immediately. The same kind of strange, hunched little shape just darting over the side of the gully down below.
They don't seem to like light much. That's something.
Well, I can keep this up.
You climb your way up, the village below becoming more and more obscured as the heavy mists are just kind of now starting to gather below you. And you find yourselves up here atop this cliff. What would you all like to do?
We want to just like make our way up as high as possible and make camp.
Okay, so you want to keep climbing this cliff, like going off the map essentially.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not super jazzed about like sleeping near this town.
exactly.
All right. Sure. So this is gonna become more and more difficult as you start going further north through town. You can see these kind of natural terrace like formations going up until probably about
Our
100 feet or
horses.
so. Your horses are tied up outside of town to the south.
Hmm.
You have this realization, Kadam, as you are about probably 100 feet or so off the map, having to climb up these little ridges. But it is getting progressively more and more difficult, and eventually, through the mist, you just see this dark shape, a wall looming up before you, and you see this massive cliffside going up into the mist above.
Can we search along this for some kind of crevice, a hollow, something in the cliff wall that we can
Uh,
get some?
Make a survival check for me.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather sleep out not enclosed, not somewhere that casts shadows.
I don't know why I hit all your tokens.
And I'm thinking I don't want to be vulnerable from all angles.
I feel like the walls that make shadows ain't no wall.
All right.
Okay, so what's the
So,
plan? You want to camp out in the open?
Like out on a
I
terrace, I
guess.
think.
Okay,
So-
okay. Okay. Why don't either both of you or one of you make a survival check to see kind of what like how ideal of a spot you can get as you're trying to search for a good spot to set up.
I'll give you advantage, Lovelace.
Or we could both roll, and whoever gets the higher one, we go with their idea. How about that?
Nah, I've already said no or yes.
Okay. 21.
Wow. Okay. Lovelace, what are you looking for? You can find.
I'm looking for like an open terrace that you can like
Mhm.
see without like any kind of like obstructions or trees. I don't want anything that casts shadow. I want to make a campfire, have a little pool of light,
Okay.
and like not have something being able to like crawl up through like a tree shadow to get like right next to us.
Okay, yeah. Searching around in the dark, just out of the
Oh,
periphery
I
of your
have my
dark vision.
bracelet.
Oh yes, right. So you have your bracelet up. You have to spend a bit of time kind of working your way along this cliffside. But Lovelace, you do spot this little outcropping that kind of juts out, surrounded almost, like a semicircle with higher cliff walls. And you do see like a smaller kind of, it looks like erosion where like a little rivulet probably formed that you can all scramble up and get on top of this thing. It's very cold, very uncomfortable, like hard, probably some kind of granite that you're sitting on.
Yeah.
And the cold is just like sucking all the warmth out of any exposed flesh that touches this rock. And the wind is kind of buffeting you up here. And you can see the mist swirling below you, some of it reaching up like these strange fingers. And then even further out, you can see the very faint outlines of mountains stretching in the distance as you see off to the east the full moon starting to crest over the horizon. But you have a nice exposed area here to set up camp. So what do you all want to do now?
Make a fire.
Okay, easy enough. You set up your fire.
Hey, Sean, why don't we split up? Like one of us go back, grab the horses, supplies. Manfred, you want to go?
What, you want me to go get the horses?
No, I really don't.
I'm not going to even validate that with a reply.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Probably fine.
I'm Fiskadam here. Okay, so you're settled in for the evening up here on this cliff face.
I hope box of screws does not charge us for the horses.
That's probably
Cost of
unlikely.
business.
She's very particular at keeping track of everything, so I find it unlikely. But who knows? Maybe a bit of optimism here, and the horses will be just fine in the morning. And Redwind's just sitting there. Oh. Sarah. Oh no.
You want to talk about it?
Oh no, Sarah's my goat. I'm just a little sad. And he grabs
Well-
his wineskin and boop.
We'll do our best to get them back tomorrow.
Okay. I don't. Okay. He kind of
Lovely.
scoots in closer to the fire. Oh,
Trying to light a fire.
yeah. He gets in close and like is trying to like shield it from the wind as you're, and it starts to light, starting to cast this nice warm light around you. Just as the fire is starting to get going, you swear, both of you hear these indiscriminate whispers in the darkness around you. But
Nope,
as
don't like
the
that.
light gets brighter and the warmth starts to wash over you, those whispers quickly dissipate.
Who wants to go get some more firewood?
Oh, yeah,
I
that's-
can. And I've got the light.
I'll go with you, Kadam, to get the firewood.
This lasts for an hour. I'm using this one. I can renew it as long as I'm awake. I guess I can wake up every hour and do that, so we have a bit of extra.
This will probably be good. I'm assuming we're going to try to get some sleep this evening, or are we going to just stay up all night?
We should
don't
try
know.
and sleep
We should try.
in shifts carefully.
Very good.
2 up at once.
Okay, so Kadam and Manfred, you are going to climb off of your camp, this little ridge, working your way down towards the trees to gather some firewood, huh? Okay.
We could
It's fine.
leave the fire. Okay, it's fine. Make
no,
lots of noise.
I love this. Thank you, Olive.
I have given you a gift, Nathan.
You really have, because for a minute, I was told.
Claire wants to.
For a minute, we were going to be sensible, but nope. We got to split up. That's how it goes.
Okay, so Kadam, can you make a survival check for me as you are working your way
try.
through the darkness down towards the
Manfred help?
trees? Manfred could help.
All right.
He can also, I guess, roll his own if you would prefer that.
I'm gonna take advantage if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
That's considerably better. 22.
22. Okay. That's really good. All right. So as you and the awkward human kind of scramble your way down this little gully, you have to go a good ways away from camp to get down to where the tree line is. Probably a good 200 feet down this like rocky slope just to get down to where the trees are. I mean, you wanted to go up to to the cliff and then up on a little ledge. You holding your light up, this kind of white incandescent light casting out before you. You get down to the tree line, Manfred carefully scanning, and you both start scooping up dead branches and twigs. You can hear Manfred kind of muttering and clutching his little holy symbol. But he gets a big armful of dead branches and sticks. Are you going to grab any, or are you just kind of providing light and scanning?
I'll grab an armful, but not two.
Okay.
Nathan pulled up a new screen.
Yeah, that was the I'm pulling up a monster stats or something face.
Yeah, sorry.
Reading some
Oh,
abilities.
don't apologize.
Okay.
Box of Screws is going to be really pissed off at you if both I and Manfred die, lovelies.
Oh boy. I would not come back. I'd just not go back to Baldur's Gate.
Actually, let me see. Oh, that's rad. Okay, cool. Okay. Kadam, as you get your last few branches gathered up in your arm, you look over towards Manfred as he kind of turns towards you, and you see his eyes are pitch black. His face is pale, and as he turns and kind of opens his mouth, you just see the mouth stretch and stretch and stretch, and it's just filled with these needle sharp teeth just bristling, and they seem to kind of almost like strange baleen. And he turns and just looks at you and he goes,
Manfred, I will start. I drop my what is it? The wood?
okay, so
Drop the wood.
scatters on the ground.
Can I grab his wrist and run with him?
Okay. You grab onto him and start pulling him away from the tree line. You feel him kind of like resisting, and you just hear that as you're trying to like pull him away. And you feel him kind of like resisting and pulling away from you. So you start kind of getting him up the hill a bit, but go ahead and make a strength check for me. You can use athletics if you want.
It don't make no difference. It's a 2 regardless.
Okay. Wait, did I just really roll? I think I also just rolled a 2.
Yeah, but he has some kind of modifier, don't he?
You get probably like 15 feet before he starts like pulling on you, and you just feel him kind of getting close to you and just
Manfred.
And you look towards him, you just see these like weird needle-like teeth just bristling in this mouth that keeps opening, and these strange hissing sounds are escaping through the mouth.
Alright, this is either going to be the stupidest thing I've ever done or the best. Can I shove my hand that has the bracelet that has light on it into his mouth? I want to see if this is an illusion or not.
Yes, make an attack roll, like an unarmed strike, to try to like shove this into his hand.
That's a
mouth.
Straight roll. That's a natural 1.
Oh my god. Okay, I want you to roll another unarmed strike for me.
5.
Okay, so you go to like shove it into his mouth, and he just like with one arm grabbing this bundle of wood kind of boom, grabs your hand before you can get it to him, and is just holding it there, and his mouth still bristling with teeth and hissing at you, just holding your hand, and he kind of shoves it out of the way as it
Manfred,
you watch as
Okay.
he like drops the wood on the ground and starts approaching you, hands out, just
I'm gonna cast Sending
okay,
to Manfred.
okay. What do you say?
Are you safe? Are you seeing me right now?
Kadam, why did you almost just punch me in the face? What are you
I'm so
doing?
sorry.
Why are you running
I'm so
from the tree
sorry.
line? And what you're seeing is just this.
I take his hands
Now you see him like it's weird. It's very incongruous because he's making these awful sounds, looking like this horrible monster, but he now is like stopping and kind of like holding his hands up in a.
Yeah. I'm mimicking him here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to almost punch you. I'm seeing something really awful right here, and I wanted to see if it was real or not. I just was.
Do you are you casting sending?
No, this is in common.
Okay.
Verbally.
Yeah, you just see him like going like this, and then the smile starts to, and the eyes shift back, and the face returns back to the human face of Manfred you're used to, and he's going, "Do you see them too?"
Them. I'll look around.
Make a perception check.
Sure. 16.
You can hear, like, twigs snapping in the forest, far outside of your vision and your light, probably like 100 feet away. Just little like. But Manfred is just like looking all around. You don't see them?
No, I hear something in the tree line.
Kedam,
Yeah.
there's children all around. They're staring at me from the dark.
Manfred, take my hand.
Grabs onto your hand.
Let's head back to the others.
Yeah, we should get some wood though. We do need this. Leans down and scoops it up. Okay. Do you want to go back and get your wood?
No, I really don't.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. You start working your way up. He's just kind of shaking in fear, looking around. They're following us, Kidam. And
Right.
all you can hear is just that, again, probably a good 100 feet out of your vision, just a pebble. But you start making the arduous trek back up, making it a bit more difficult with all this wood that Manfred's carrying, working your way up this gully that's just covered in this kind of loose gravel, with these very little like gnarled shrubs clinging to some of the rocks. But you can see the warmth of the firelight up on the ridge, just sparkling up there. Yeah, you are able to get your way up back on top amongst the rocks. And as you pull yourself up, you see Lovelace and Renwin sitting
Kidam,
there.
you're back. Kidam. Or thing. Say something only Kidam would say. Yep, you're good. Come on in.
And then you see Manfred kind of come up over the edge, push this
I am
pile
still
of wood.
holding on to Manfred.
Oh, I was just mean he has to like get the wood up over the lip, plopping it onto this stone ridge, and then he kind of pulls himself up, mantling up there, and kind of immediately huddles up next to the fire and is just like looking over his shoulder and starts rubbing his arms.
Badly. I'm hearing things out there out of the light. Manfred, are you still seeing children?
They seem to disappear the closer we got to the fire.
All right.
Okay.
We almost came to blows back there. Some sort of illusion.
God, I don't like that.
We should not split up. We should not let this fire die. I will be recast in light every hour.
Gotta sleep sometime, Kidam. Just at least a little bit.
I recognize that. I I need my spell slots back. Oh. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not that tired. I can take a couple watches.
I was about to offer the same thing. I do not know if I'm going to sleep tonight.
Well, as
I will rest at least.
If necessary, I don't have to take a long rest.
yeah, I guess I will ask both of you: are you going to forego the long rest?
I think Lovelace will. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like I can afford that.
I think you need to make a con save for me. I can double check just to make sure. But let me see.
I mean, I'll try to get like a nap here and there if I can like switch off a
It's-
little
Yeah,
bit.
like get a short rest.
You can get a short rest, but
I don't know if that's useful
but
at all.
the fact that you're not, you're still gonna get the penalty of not getting. You won't get the benefits of long rest, and you will get the penalty of foregoing a long rest, which I'm trying to find the rules for here. I think it's
Yep. Long rest 5e.
I think it's in the player's handbook. Here we go. And if it's maybe it's not a thing. I thought it was. Well, I will spend another minute trying to find this, and if I can't find it, we will just move on.
The answer on rpg.stackexchange.com is like 8 paragraphs long.
I found it. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Going without a long rest. Whenever you end a 24-hour period without finishing a long rest, you must succeed on a DC 10 con save. It becomes harder to fight. Or suffer one, level of exhaustion. So.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay, so Lovelace, you are going to stay up all night, sitting up on this cold ridge, the wind blowing about you. Go ahead and make your save.
I would love to.
And
Gentleman's 20.
Yes, you are able to stay through the night, keeping your resolve, fighting off sleep, while your companions start to nestle in. Kadam,
Yeah.
as you are trying to find rest, and eventually it does come to you, you are unable to fight it off anymore. You are met with darkness. Not this is knowing darkness. You are aware of the fact that it is just pitch black. This is not a you have fallen asleep and then you wake up and you can't remember anything. This is something, it's happening. Something is visceral. You are aware that you are in complete and utter darkness. And then you feel this pressure on you. And it is growing and growing. And you realize that you're having a hard time breathing.
I'm gonna start praying.
Okay. Yeah. Make a religion check for me.
All right, that's halfway decent. 17.
Yeah. As you're sitting there, feeling the pressure grow, you realize you can feel the hard edges of stone pressing against you, and you start to hear the shifting sound of little pebbles kind of trickling through cracks in the rock, and you feel your breath starting to escape you. But as you focus on your deity and begin to pray, the darkness starts to subside, and you see these little peaks of light starting to shine through the cracks, and you start to feel that pressure easing. And you watch as this pile of rubble and rocks around you starts to lift and just and extend out from you, and this almost anti-gravity field just rising up off your chest, and your breath comes back to you. As the light fades and the debris around you almost dissipates into the bright white and it fades, you hear the gentle sounds of a forest and kind of the soft lapping of water. You realize you're lying on your back and there are like soft reeds under your head, and you can see them kind of swaying just above your vision, and a bright starry sky before you and a large full moon. You can see the tears of Saloon kind of drifting off to the side, this little asteroid belt trailing off the side of this moon.
Selenine? What do you want from me? Thank you, but why?
You sense something behind you. You see this kind of pale light cascading. As you sit up and look over your shoulder, you see a familiar form, this humanoid form, these wings crossed over in front of it, and a ram's head and an owl's face staring down at you, towering over you. But you watch as it kind of shifts down, shrinking down to your size, and gets to your eye level. Very soft, gentle hand reaches up, kind of touching your face, and then just gesturing out. As you look out, you can see below you, you're standing up on this cliff edge, and below you is the town of Vermeillon stretched out. And you watch as this dark, spilling shadow just starts to, from far below you, out of some cave entrance, and it just starts billowing out towards the village.
They're the people, aren't they? The ones that we met in the village.
The figure just turns, looks towards you.
All right. All right, I think I understand.
You look up and the figure is gone.
I turn and look out over Vermilion.
You just see that shadow spilling out over the town. And the little lights, seems to be an occupied Vermilion. The little lights in the windows of the village start to wink out one by one as this billowing shadow just starts wrapping its way around the periphery of the village. And the last thing you see before unconsciousness takes you once more is that manor slowly getting encompassed by the shadow, and it's the last light that you see that winks out.
Can I run and launch myself off the cliff, arms outspread,
Okay.
falling down towards Vermilion?
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Natural 20 for... Really? How am I getting that? For 27.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Kadam, what are you wanting to happen here as you just run and launch yourself off the cliff edge? You feel the cold wind as you go plummeting down towards this dark shadow.
I want to embrace the town.
Okay.
I want to I want to acknowledge it and recognize it for what it is and take it under my wing.
Okay. You are plummeting towards this shadow when suddenly you feel like lift, catch, and you bank up hard and glide out over the town itself. And you can feel this resistance at your back, something. And as you look, you realize there are these 4 massive owl wings that have sprouted out of your back. And you glide over this swirling mass of dark shadow, and kind of instinctually you bank up, and you seem to come to a rest and hover there above the darkened village below. You feel your arm kind of reach up, and as you look, you see the light of the moon starting to siphon down into your arm, gathering in this sphere of bright light. The light itself starts to just extend out from you, and just you watch this shadow start to writhe and wither and just and getting sucked back into the cliff face itself, and it's pulled into the darkness and out of sight, revealing the village once more. Only this time it is the ruined, abandoned form that you are familiar with, but that creeping mist is gone, and you can hear the sounds of nightlife returning to this village. You hear the sounds of insects, of birds, of the frogs up on the ridge where there is a small meadow. You realize now that all of that has been completely absent as you've been fleeing in the dark in terror. And that is when the dream ends and you return back to your sleep. Lovelace.
Does the mist go away halfway through the night for some reason?
Make a perception check as you are on watch.
Heck yeah, I will. 22.
Sitting there through the night, watching your companion sleep, through the entire evening, there's just those tendrils of mist reaching up towards you like fingers. It does not dissipate. It continues. And you just have the warmth of the firelight keeping it at bay. You also, periodically through the night, hear strange whispers coming from the dark. At one point, just as you can start to see the semblance of light starting to shine on the horizon, you feel something on your arm, an itch.
Doesn't look down. I think at first just like it's probably a bug or something, but I'm like,
Okay.
I'm scanning. Just brush it away.
It's itching. There's some. It feels like something's crawling on your arm.
Oh,
you look down and you can see your arm is kind of writhing and pulsing just under the skin, as if something is moving.
Deep breath. Said there's illusions. Don't trust. This is worth waking up somebody for. Manfred. Poke with the stick.
Yes.
Manfred.
Yeah.
Could you look at my arm, please?
What about this?
Is it writhing? Would you say that it's pulsing?
No.
Okay. Would you mind staying up? It's getting light. I'm sorry for waking you early.
Yeah,
I think they're trying something though.
I can stay up with you. That's not a problem. As he kind of settles in, the firelight getting dimmer and dimmer, but you are starting to see that sun peeking on the horizon. And
is it still just like itching and writhing?
As the sunlight starts to crest, the itching dissipates and the whispers leave, till eventually the morning light starts to appear and you no longer are accosted by whispers or itching.
It's mighty unpleasant. If Box of Screws wants this place so bad, I don't know if she's paying us enough to make that happen for her.
Well, we have a job to do, and
Do we? What's she got on you? Why are you doing this?
she gives me quite a lot. Without her, I would not be in such a good place. She's helped me quite a bit.
Good place, huh? Looks around.
Well, this is only temporary. It's just part of the job. It will all be worth it in the end.
When's the end happen? One last job?
Oh, no, I'm happy to be working with her. I know she's informed me that the two of you are hoping to leave the employee of the guild. That's all understandable. Some people don't, it just isn't suited for them.
It's funny you should say that. I seem to distinctly recall having already left the employ, and I don't know if Kidam ever entered that little black book of hers.
Well, as far as I know, she's granted you quite a bit of favors and resources, so what's fair is fair. Anyways, we just have to get into that mine and confirm that there is, in fact, a valuable or viable operation that could go underway within there.
What's that look like exactly? Because I'm interested in like poking our head in there, doing the absolute minimum, and getting the hell out of here.
Well, we'll need to determine if there are any platinum veins available, or at least some remnant of such a thing. Also find some evidence of platinum in itself. That would be useful. As far as we know right now, we've just seen abandoned buildings and
And a platinum amulet.
Sure, but that could have been gotten from anywhere. For all we know, this could just be an iron mine or a copper mine. That would not be worth the amount of effort, especially since we'll have to deal with whatever is haunting this place.
Yeah.
Did you see anything last night?
Not much, not until I woke you up right there. I don't know. It felt like you ever have your brain itch? It's like just like blades of grass brushing up against the edges of your senses.
Yeah. I could feel that when Kodam and I were making our way up the mountain, and I just saw crowds of these children staring at me from the dark.
Is that
vacant eyes.
Is that something that's particularly troubling to you? I mean, it sounds creepy as all get out, but like with me, I saw something from my past, and it sounds like same for that one right there.
No, I don't have much of a past with crowds of children. It just was very unsettling.
Yeah, I imagine. All right, I'm gonna start making some breakfast, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
Start cooking up some bacon.
Well, as the morning greets you and you made it through your first night here in Vermeillon.
And last,
Um, yeah, what would you all like to do as you are getting breakfast ready? You do, Lovelace, see Renwin kind of gasp as he wakes and uh, kind of looks up towards you and looks up towards the now bright light starting to crest over the mountains. He just plops
you're
back.
fine. We made it.
Thank the gods.
Glance at Kidan.
I think I'm blessed to wake up and do so softly, peacefully, with tears on my face.
To the smell of it.
The smell of bacon.
Well, as you have what is somewhat of a pleasant breakfast, there still is that mist that's kind of clinging to everything below you down where the village is. You can see as the morning light is starting to crest up over the village. Some of it is burning off a bit, revealing the peaks of these dilapidated buildings, mainly of which you can see the roof of that manor with the 4 chimneys kind of poking up out of the morning mist. And Kadam, you do notice as you're having your bacon and whatever else you have for rations that, yeah, the sound of the forest around you is very quiet. Not much in the way of birds or insects, just the sound of the wind and the trees.
I pull out the bag of tea that Box of Screws gave me for the first time and make a pot of that.
Okay.
So this rich, sweet aroma of roses and almonds and milk kind of blossoms out of the teapot. And I will share that with whomever wants it.
Montford, you see him kind of. That smells so delightful. Like a glass of that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
He takes out his little like tin mug, it's like traveling mug, and offers it.
Yeah.
Renwin kind of. Yeah, all right. I'll take some, and then he immediately takes some like smaller little flask out of his like vest pocket, pours that in, puts that back. Cheers. Starts drinking.
Cheers. I would like to visit the brick house.
I would like to check to see if our horses are.
That we should do first.
Let's do that. Check out the houses and then.
But specifically the brick house. Why? That thing must have been incredibly expensive to build.
The bricks?
Well, the house. I mean, where's the nearest clay pit? They had to make bricks somewhere very far away, lug them all the way up here, and then build this thing. It's got 4 fireplaces.
Aren't there bricks and clay and like mines up here in the mountains?
No, you don't get. I don't think you get clay in mountains much, or not ones that you can mine in.
Well, as you're having this discussion, working your way down the cliffside, you descend back into the mist and start working your way through the village towards the southern end of the village where your horses.
Horses are alive and safe.
We're
Oh,
tied
that's
up.
so nice, Nathan.
We're tied up. Well, yeah, we did that too.
Coming to the edge of the village where you can see what remains of the path, and you can see just kind of off into the trees where you expect your horses to be.
Yep.
And you can see some shapes on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Would you like to go and investigate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see what we're dealing with.
Okay. Approaching, you see the remains of your horses lying there. They have been shredded, large lacerations across their flanks, and their bellies have been split open. The goat as well, you can see its neck is at a very strange angle, and much of its hide has been pulled away. Renwyn, kind of shaking, walks up sad, looking down at this goat. Kind of kneels and grabs what remains of his saddlebags and starts like taking out supplies, trying to offload some of it into his bag.
I will squeeze his shoulder.
Okay. He kind of tenses for a moment. Puts a hand on yours.
And I forgot about him. I'm not used to thinking about horses.
Would you like to do anything else with your poor horses?
No, I don't feel like it's worth burying them.
Manfred kind of awkwardly. There is some decent meat on here.
I was thinking that too.
Looks around. Would anybody mind if I butcher some of them just to have some fresh meat for later?
Not at all.
Renwyn, how would
I'll
you
help
feel?
out.
How would you feel about Sarah? Yeah, fine. Yeah, makes sense. I have to go. I'm gonna stand over there though. I'm sorry.
I'll go with Renwyn and just be around.
Okay. So as Lovelace, you and Manfred butcher some of the meat, gather it. I'm not gonna have you make a survival check for this, Lovelace. I feel like you probably have had
Oh,
experience.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Then yeah, no worries. You gather what you can, and you have some fresh meat for later gathered up. And looking back towards the Misty Village, what would you all like to do next?
Head to the big house.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go just swing by the graveyard first, see if that locket's still there.
All right.
Okay. Kind of working your way around the western edge of the village and up through the graveyard, you go up to the cairn that was marked Lucas's wife, Lorna. Thank you, Lorna's grave. The platinum locket is still resting there, and you can see the flowers as well, just looking a bit more wilted.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Don't know as I was expecting, but that's something.
Spread my hands out on the engraving and just press into it a bit. It's us again. Lovelace told you yesterday that Lucas loves you very much, and that's true. He also said that he would be along shortly, so you don't have much longer to wait. And stand up.
You take your moment, and after some time, head back towards the big house.
Mm-hmm.
And you find yourself standing there at the front door. It is slightly, one of the doors is just ever so slightly ajar, and it looks very worn. You can see like lichen clinging to the wood, and this big brick house looming before you. There are windows on the exterior of the house as well. What would you like to do?
Lovelace, I would like to knock.
I was also thinking that if these are fey creatures, politeness costs nothing.
Exactly. Is there a doorbell, or should I just knock?
Knocking is appropriate.
There,
And
Oh,
there is no doorbell.
all right.
So yeah, you
So I will.
put your hand up and, or you just tuk, 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 tuk. Nothing happens.
all right.
Well, I try the doorknob.
It opens. And
Hello.
looking inside, you see that there is just dust covering everything inside of this wide hallway. There are moth-eaten cloaks which hang from hooks on the left-hand wall. And to the left and right, hallways branch off into the gloom. Directly ahead of you is a stairway which leads up to a second floor, and there is another door that stands beneath the stairs, which seems to lead to the back of the house. Let me move you all over to the map.
Hey, Kidam, you mind having any more bright ideas?
Yeah, sure. I'll cast light on that same bracelet.
Okay. Get you situated here as you step into the dusty interior of the home. The light.
Changing Spotify playlist to spooky.
Spooky.
Scooby-Doo.
Are you really doing a Scooby-Doo playlist?
I will actually call out. Hello, Lee? Are you here?
Okay.
Mayor Doveson?
Make a persuasion check for me.
Does that mean there's something to persuade?
Maybe.
Right. Yep. 26. That's a nat 19.
Don't ask us to roll unless you're down for us to succeed.
As you finish that thought and calling out into the empty house, the beat, silence, you feel something in your mouth kind of loose. You feel a tooth just moving around, and then it suddenly goes back. And you realize that there's nothing wrong with your teeth. It's fine. You kind of check, make sure. Just for a moment, you felt as though your tooth was coming out of its gums, and then it just went back.
Interesting. Relay that to the group.
Before you woke up, it made my arm feel like there was something under the skin.
Oh,
I think
that sounds worse than a tooth.
I don't like the thought of losing teeth.
You do hear above you a
Nathan, I got the door creak, and then I saw your mouth continue to move, but heard silence.
I just made a little like skittering sound.
Okay.
Okay, let's just pop in here, see if it says anything about a platinum mine, and then maybe we won't even have to go into the mine itself.
Oh, I think we went into the mine. But, well, we've introduced. Oh, well, I suppose we haven't introduced ourselves. Hello, my name is Kiram. I mean no particular harm to anyone. If you attack me, I probably will defend myself. Yeah, these are my friends.
Hello. Hi.
Lovelace. I do mean harm to folks, but hopefully not you.
Lovelace. Well, we've introduced ourselves now. At least someone is here. Shall we explore the public rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stick my head over here to the right.
Yeah. You look off to your right and kind of poke your head in, and you see that there is this parlor. It's pretty empty except for these 4 wingback chairs you can see. And
Chairs.
situated
Highly suspicious.
situated along the left-hand wall, there is a desk, and in the right-hand corner beside the window, there's a fireplace that kind of dominates that southeast corner.
I would like to check out the fireplace, actually.
I'll check out the desk.
Okay. Looking through the fireplace, you just see very long remnants of like coal down below. You do see, kind of peering in, there's multiple spider webs in there, and little like spiders kind of crawl up into the dark. Little vermin, kind of probably little flies and dried up bits of gunk kind of caught in there, but you don't see anything in there.
Is the flue open? Like, can I feel air coming down out of it?
Yes, you do feel some air kind of drifting through.
All right.
Looking at the desk, Lovelace, there are...
I'm gonna also poke any chair.
Yeah, so
like...
the desk just has some crumbling sheets of blank parchment. Like you kind of poke it and it just almost dissolves some of it. So old. There is this quill kind of resting to one side, and an inkwell, which as you kind of look in, it's just dried, nothing left in it. You go around and poke all the chairs, and you do poke one and see a bit of whatever stuffing is kind of left in there, kind of, and you see this little like nose of a small field mouse kind of poke out and...
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to disturb your home.
And it kind of wriggles back into the stuffing.
Field mice are adorable.
Okay. This one has defeated whatever monster this chair was and lives in its corpse.
Brave mouse, that
You have my respect, brave mouse.
Real quick, I just want to say hi to a first time viewer here. Hi, Tired Jesus. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Going well. They're poking around an abandoned home, and Lovelace felt things crawling under her skin and saw her flesh bulging the night before. So
But
everything's great.
It's morning now. Things are looking up. There's some light around. We're okay for the moment.
We had bacon. Okay, I'm done with this room.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so stepping out of the room.
Let's just
I'm in
go
the room.
clockwise.
Oh, clockwise. We're here.
Stick our head in.
Counterclockwise. Sure.
Let's go counterclockwise. Hey, maybe clocks work different in Faerun. Maybe they don't have clocks.
Well, they do.
Hmm.
Manfred has one.
Right. Anyway, more chairs I see.
Yeah, more chairs.
Yeah. Walking into here. Strangely enough, it is a dining room. You can see this massive rectangular wooden table there surrounded by these 8 chairs. There is a sideboard that sits against the far wall with some dusty ceramic serving dishes on it. And there are a couple bowls and then, of course, a fireplace. But that's about all you see in here.
Can I check the cabinet off to the east?
Yeah. So you make your way over there to look inside. Lovelace, you feel this cold run like a cold trickle in your chest.
I think I'm feeling something.
You go to talk and you feel yourself cough. It feels like there's water in your throat.
I'm gonna grab whoever's closest Renwin
Okay.
or something
Okay.
and just like point at my throat.
You feel this sloshing sensation in your chest, and you see these like bits of water starting to, and you feel yourself coughing and regurgitating these like bouts of water that start coming out of your mouth.
Is it actual water? Like, or at least
You see it splashing on Renwin, who's just kind of staring at you. You all right? He doesn't seem to be reacting to it as it's splashing against his body. Lovelace, you okay? And it's just splashing out onto the floor. Kadam, you look over and you just see Lovelace is just coughing there, trying to, like, grabbing onto Renwin, trying to get Renwin to speak to Renwin, but can't.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, Lovelace, you feel like you are drowning right now.
I'm gonna go over and cast guidance on Lovelace and rub her back, and call out, "Please don't hurt my friends. As I said, we're not here to hurt anyone."
Okay. Make another persuasion check for me.
17.
Lovelace. Renwin disappears. And you feel yourself continuing to cough. And then you look up and Manfred isn't there. And behind you, Kadam is no longer there.
Okay.
You just feel the water building and building in your lungs.
Can she feel my hand on her back?
No.
I'm gonna just try sitting there, closing my eyes.
Okay.
Deep breath and just like hold it.
Make a wisdom save for me.
Love those. 16.
Take a deep breath in, and it's really uncomfortable to do so as you're trying to breathe in, and you just feel that water and burning in your chest and your lungs. And then it dissipates, and it leaves. And you can hear Renwin, "Lovelace!" You open your eyes, you see all your companions around you, and Renwin just has his hands on your shoulders. "It's okay."
Ow.
Here, and he hands you his little flask. Maybe it'll help.
I don't want water right now. Thanks though.
Oh, it's not water.
I was coughing up. I was drowning. Y'all disappeared.
Oh,
I think it wanted me to run away again.
I'm so
Can we finish
sorry.
up our business here and get out?
Yeah.
I don't want to dilly-dally looking in every cabinet here.
Kadam, just as you are turning to leave, you kind of look back, and the cabinets, as far as you can tell, are just filled with plates and bowls and old, some of them broken.
Okay, everyone, if you feel things going, don't panic.
Yeah.
Just don't run.
As we all move back
Yeah.
into the hallway, I just murmur under my breath, "That was unkind."
Okay.
Yeah, we're dealing with unkind folks. Poke our head in here. More. Are those chairs?
More chairs.
No, not even
Lovelace,
going in there.
I think we've got so many chairs to deal with here.
Yeah.
It's like a meeting room.
You do walking into that room though. Yes.
I ain't walking in.
Well, so yeah, maybe you could you go in, Lovelace, you do the broom thing when you saw the broom
Yeah,
back in
exactly.
the mansion and go, nope. But Kadam, you kind of come up behind and look inside there, and you do see there's all these chairs set up. It looks like for some kind of meeting room, and they are facing what looks to be a small podium. There's a sideboard kind of left to the left side of the room, and a bookcase. On the bookcase, you do see there are actual what look to be relatively well preserved tomes and books. There are a couple knickknacks, and you can see there's a there's this like chunk of like rock resting kind of on a little display on the bookcase itself.
I will go over to the bookcase and just peruse the titles real quick. And is that a chunk of unrefined platinum sitting right there?
You kind of look through, you just see there's a few history books, things about like geology, and there is a small little framed watercolor painting that kind of shows the mountain range that you've seen around here. And that rock, you do see there are these like striations of metallic material running through it. Make a nature check.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
21.
It is platinum.
All right. I'm gonna leave that there and not call Manfred over
Okay.
and just head back to the rest of the group.
Okay. Okay. Easy enough. You exit the room. I mean, yeah, both Renlin and Manfred are like, anything interesting in there?
Seems like a meeting room of some kind.
God, a lot of chairs.
Very well.
A lot of chairs.
Bit anxious to get to the mine before. I know it's still the morning, but just want to make sure.
Yeah, I do want to keep just making a quick pass through the house, if that's all right.
All right. Okay. So where do you all want to go next? You want to head to the other room or head upstairs?
Yeah,
I'm leaving so much gold right there. Oh my gosh.
So
I feel betrayed.
I love the like atypical adventurers that you are.
Lovelace would take it.
Lovelace, looking into the room on the other side, the only thing that kind of catches your eye, it does look like some little small meeting room, but there is a large portrait that hangs on the eastern wall. You can see an oil painting which depicts this dark-skinned woman dressed in a cream-colored frock coat with a pale green... Oh, I don't know what this is. Oh, Claire, help me here.
Cravat?
Cravat.
Cravat.
What is a cravat? Please enlighten me. I feel like
it
I
was
looked
kind
this
of
up,
the
but
precursor to ties.
Oh, that's right. I looked this up.
So
Yeah.
it's a long piece of fabric
Yeah.
that you can tie in any number of ways
yes.
around your neck. It kind of tucks into the vest or coat.
So she has this cravat tucked in, and her dark hair is pulled up into a very intricate twist, and you can see that she wears a delicate platinum and diamond earrings, and her hands are folded on her lap, and one finger bears this heavy platinum signet ring. There is a snowdrop blossom embedded on the signet ring.
Manfred, I suppose that ain't good enough proof?
No, it could be platinum, but it's just a painting.
Okay, let's keep walking then.
So,
Upstairs, I suppose.
It's sounds good. So, you all make your way up the creaking stairs. You can hear the floorboards groaning under your weight, Lovelace, and a few of them kind of groan a bit louder than comfort would allow. But you manage to make it up to the top floor. and coming
More
out
mansions. Why is it always
onto
mansions?
a landing with this massive rug under your feet. It is very much moth-eaten. You can see little dark droppings scattered all over the ground here, and as you do come up and shine the light in, you just catch as some little critter kind of darts off. Like a small rodent. Sorry, I should be clear about my small critters.
See, that was probably the skittering we heard earlier.
It's possible.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's make this quick.
Yeah, go towards the room that's already open. Nope,
Okay.
that's not what I want.
Yeah, stepping into the room, you can see it is some sort of small library. There are shelves filled with books that line the walls of this little library. There are the 4 wingback chairs that sit around the table there in the center of the room. And you can see these large windows that look out into the town, and all you're really seeing are these kind of tendrils of mist blowing past the windows, and then a bit of the forest beyond. Yeah, that's what you have before you. You do see there are a few open books on that small table with scattered papers, and then there are also other papers kind of scattered throughout the room.
I would like to take a look at those books and papers.
Hauntings and where to find them.
Okay. Lovelace and Kadam, you step up to the table and peer down. What you find several books open with notes scribbled in the margins, and kind of flipping through, you can see there are notes throughout. In some of the later passages, the notes become a bit more frantic and like less neat. There are the topics of these books include effects of physical and emotional trauma. You see books on nightmares. You see books on mysterious disappearances. A lot of like historical documents. Some are fables and stories and myths. But as you're kind of piecing your way through these different books, there's one smaller book towards the top that looks a little out of place. It's a book on the Feywild and its sundry of creatures. You see it is open to a page, and there is a note kind of frantically scribbled down. And
Mm-hmm.
the note, I think here. The note says, it's in shorthand, and it says nightmares, hallucinations, tragedy. Just 3 little like quick written things, and it's on an entry on a type of fey creature.
And that fey creature is.
Yes, you see written in the title, it says Meanlock, and it describes a small little humanoid creature that will often spontaneously manifest in response to a great tragedy that is surrounded with fear. Places that border the Feywild, that are where the veil is thin, is a likely candidate for such a spontaneous birth of these creatures to happen. It also, kind of going through it, you see that it describes these creatures as wanting to collect other humanoids in the area, and through a process of psychic torment that can take days, they are able to transform other humanoids into more of themselves. they often live within subterranean nests. Their lairs a dense warren of strangely smooth-bored tunnels. And the last entry that you kind of see on these creatures is that they are very sensitive to bright light. However, they can sense shadows and darkness in an almost unnatural way.
They can sense?
Sense them.
Yes. You see in the entry talking about stories of these creatures seeming to just disappear in the darkness and then seemingly be somewhere else behind those that have seen them in an instant, seeming to jump from shadow to shadow.
Lovelace feels mighty vindicated about her choice of where to sleep last night.
Yeah, that was a good call right there. I'm also feeling good about keeping this lit.
Yep.
Lovelace, I think these are the former residents of Vermeillon.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear as day, isn't it? Even I can see it.
While you were going over this, you could kind of hear Manfred and Renwin discussing something. It was a little out of, you were focused on the book as you were reading, and you kind of hear hear Renwin's footsteps walking just down the hall a bit. Manfred looks back to you, Lovelace. He wanted to take a look at the room.
Let's
Keep
go
an eye
with
on
him.
Yes, it's probably a good idea. And as you hear kind of the door open, and he
God,
hears
Renwin!
inside. Listen,
I'm taking this. I grabbed the book.
Okay, you pick it up and start to leave the room.
I would like to grab the books on physical and emotional trauma.
Sure. You scoop those up just as Renwin is opening the door. I just want to take a look for just a moment, and he's kind of opening the door, his back to the entryway, talking to the two of you. And you can see this small little shape just crouched there behind him as he's speaking towards Manfred as you step into the room.
Oh, just on the other side?
Just on the other side as he's like opening the door, his back to
Can I grab the back of his coat?
You go to grab him, and just as you grab him, he kind of cries out. Let's see if this...
This little idiot.
Yeah. Okay. And... Okay. He cries out as something slashes across his back. You see that little shape just... and you just grab onto him, seeing this hunched over form in the darkness of the room, and you have your light there as it cascades over the shoulder of Renwin, him crying, blood kind of spraying against the wall, and you reveal this small humanoid creature sitting there, its elongated arm kind of extending out into this strange, what looks to be a fleshy hand, but where the fingers would be all come together into almost like a pincer, like a strange scorpion-like pincer. And there is a bit of a like articulated thumb that's kind of twitching there, and you can see a bit of blood dripping off of it. The face of this small creature has two large pincers kind of clicking off to the side, and where the mouth would be, there's just this strange like puckering little mouth that keeps pulsing outwards with these little almost like baleen like tendrils kind of as it's there going, and you watch it kind of rear back in the light, and it just and dissipates and is gone.
Oh, all right.
Unless you want to try to do something as you're
Lovelace wants to murder.
grabbing Renwin, we can do a quick.
Yeah, I wanted to put my bracelet behind my back to block the light and see if I can't grab it.
Okay, Well, it already
Murder.
it already used its action, and it's going to then use this ability to teleport away. So you reach out to grab at it, and your hand just gets emptiness. Renwin there, panting, feeling the pain at his back, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session, with that little creature slashing into Renwin's back there.
Lovelace has the scent of blood. We know what these things are.
Yeah, and with that, we will end tonight's session as Lovelace is scooping up that book and starting to gallop out into the room to confront whatever this might be. Okay. I think that's it for the evening. Thank you, everybody.
Some good stuff.
One question: did you say meme lock?
Mean lock. Yes, it's
lock.
It for how creepy these creatures can be. Their name is very fey and whimsical and kind of silly sounding.
Yeah, I'm so much less scared now that
know.
I've read about them in a book.
I know. I loved how the first episode of being in this village started out so frightening, and then as it went on and you gathered information, it just started to dissipate.
And this is the Candlekeep connection, right? There's a book.
There is a book. I mean,
featuring books.
You had a book that brought you here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You were supposed to find the book in Candlekeep, but no, I'm just kidding.
But we can't do that anymore.
I know. I'm gonna have to figure out these other adventures coming up. Although, who knows? We may end up taking a detour into something else. So, still to be
Mean locks
determined.
are tragic and terrifying.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. We will see you on. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing a bonus stream again on Thursday. If you would like to join us, I think we're just gonna keep doing map stuff. Yeah, just keep on.
So much fun. The first one was great.
Do you want to continue with the cracked spine, or?
Yeah, we can make the downstairs.
Okay, great.
Or at least the downstairs portions that Olive and I know about.
Yeah, exactly. The places that you do know about. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you on Thursday. The bonus episode we're doing it because if we do it, we can become affiliates. It's like the last little requirement that we have. So yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely evening and good night.
We have a question before we finish.
What is bonus? I mean, it's a bonus episode because it's not a continuation of the story. We just did a mapping episode where we took let me turn the music down, sorry, it's a little loud. We took the location of the cracked spine, which those of you who've watched us before is a reoccurring location where Lovelace and Gadam go back to basically get jobs or help, kind of. It's a front. It's a bookstore that is a front for a criminal organization. So we decided to map it. I'm using a map tool and I was designing it, and then Claire and Olive were giving me suggestions. The answers were giving suggestions, and yeah. Oh, I already answered.
Okay. Have a good night, everyone.
Thursday at 7:30.
Thursday at 7:30.
7:30, yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
Good night.